Positive thinking is a complete waste of time in comparison to practices and things that genuinely work to improve your life, make you happier, and really just allow you to enjoy your life the most. Because really, why are you trying to think positive? It's to feel better. And look, I'm not the type of person that likes to shit on people for doing things that actually improve their life. This is kind of like me shitting on people for like hitting the gym and trying to be healthy. But it's not that I think positive thinking is like bad and that it doesn't work at all. It's just that it's mildly effective. And often when trying to do it, you fail and it causes more suffering because it's basically you trying to battle with your own mind because you're thinking negative and then you're coming in trying to think positive and you're almost having like a little war in your own mind, which can often cause a lot of overwhelm, burnout, and it can just make you feel worse than if you were to just do these 3 things that I'm going to share with you today. So what are the 3 more effective practices or things that you could be doing to be happier? The first one is actually silencing the mind. When you decide to silence the mind, what happens is you become a lot more peaceful. There is a peace, stillness that comes with silencing the mind. And what really is silencing the mind is literally what it says on the tin, right? It's allowing the mind to calm down, to simmer down and be present to the moment without thinking too much. In fact, you're able to silence the mind completely for at least a few seconds, but to really have a quieter, calmer mind. Now, how do we do this? Through meditation. And the easiest meditation that I've found to work for me, and I genuinely think this is probably the easiest way to get into silencing the mind, is there's a 3-step process. You connect to the breath, the body, and the moment. So let's do it together, right? And actually, just go along with this. I know it's a video, and I know you probably don't know me, but just go along with this because I promise you it's going to help you silence the mind and feel a lot better than you do if you're feeling negative right now. So first thing is breath. Then you start to feel your body more. And then you put your attention into this moment, this bubble of experience that you have, right? You can almost see your experience as a bubble of experience, right? You look around, it's almost like the bubble moves with you, right? Everything that you experience is, or you can almost imagine it's like a bubble. You're almost in like a snow globe of your consciousness, right? And so if you're able to put your full attention into this consciousness, as well as breathing and feeling into your body, connecting to those 3 things, this naturally silences the mind. This naturally gets you to a place where you feel calm, at peace, relaxed, and you're just residing in this present moment. The second thing I would recommend as well is to, and this is going to sound obvious and this is going to sound basic, and you're probably going to be like, oh, I'm already doing this, but you're probably not doing it as much as you should be. It's doing things you enjoy, following your passions, doing your hobbies. Now, I know this is super basic, but really think about it. The easiest way to enjoy your life more is just to do more of the things that you enjoy, to do them more often, to do them just every single day, to do them as much as you can. Because honestly, if you're doing things you enjoy, if you can look back at the times you've been doing your hobbies, maybe you like sports, maybe you're into football or, American football if you're in America, or maybe you're into table tennis like me. Every time you're playing that sport and you really kind of lock in, the thoughts really go away about other things, right? You don't have to battle your mind. You don't have to try and think positive. You're in the flow. You're in the zone, right? You're also enjoying yourself, right? You're engaged. You're fully engaged. You're locked in. You're lit up, right? And you're having a great time. So imagine if you just did more of that. And imagine if you discovered more of your passions and more things that you enjoy doing and you did more of them. And imagine if you did so much of 1 or 2 of those things that you really enjoy, you got so good at it that people were willing to pay you to do the things you enjoy, right? That life is going to be way more enjoyable and you're going to feel less negative. You're going to have less negative thoughts because honestly, you're just doing things you enjoy. So that's the second thing I would recommend. And honestly, don't Like, don't treat this as like, oh yeah, it's kind of obvious. Like, just really commit to it for the next week. Do things you enjoy and notice the difference, right? Notice how you don't really need to control the mind too much. You don't really need to think too much positive thoughts because you're already feeling good and you're naturally thinking positive because you're living a life that you actually enjoy. You're not living a life that you hate. And then the third thing I would recommend that's more beneficial than just, forcing yourself to think positively is contemplation. So in this, you are actually using your mind, but you're using your mind to question, observe, and try to understand yourself and reality. So that is kind of how I would quickly sum up contemplation. You're literally asking the questions that you genuinely want to know the answer to, right? The things that you're most curious about, the things that you really want to know, right? And curiosity is a big thing here. If you feel like you're lacking curiosity, right, we'll just start with the questions you genuinely want to know. For me, and possibly for you, it's the more kind of deeper, more fundamental questions, or you could say the more spiritual and metaphysical questions like, what is this? How is this possible? Like, what is it? What is consciousness? What is life? What is intelligence? What is happiness? How do you live a good life? These questions, paired with genuinely asking them and trying to observe yourself, observe reality, pull up examples to mind, right? And try to really think for yourself from scratch with these questions and eventually have insights, epiphanies, like realizations that are very satisfying, very enjoyable to have. This in itself is going to be a better use of your mind than just forcing yourself to think positively, right? Now, I want to make a little caveat here, right? If you've got to the end of the video, obviously positive thinking is part of a healthy mind, right? I don't think positive thinking is bad, right? In fact, for the longest time, I studied people like Tony Robbins, and I got a lot of benefit from positive thinking. However, while it's good, and honestly, it's the best when it becomes natural, when you're living just a great life and you start thinking positively, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's just mildly effective. It works, it's good, but it's not like without the three things I just mentioned. If I was just doing things I didn't enjoy every day, not really following my passions, if I wasn't able to silence the mind and enter a deep state of peace and presence, if I wasn't contemplating the deepest questions and the things I genuinely want to understand about reality, then positive thinking really wouldn't do much for me because, well, I've done it and it didn't really work that well. And really, it's just like, it's an extra nice thing. It's like the cherry on top is not the main course. And so if you resonate with this, I'm going to be making more videos on this to come and, potentially subscribe. And I've got a free community on the way as well. I'll speak to you soon. Peace.